our Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, GCON, my learned silk and brother in the profession. He is very delighted to be joining us again at this 2020 Nigerian Annual Education Conference on building effective, resilient, and sustainable education system for our great nation, Nigeria. Education is a central, cohesive source of support and stability in the development of any nation, and is the best legacy a country can bequeath to its citizens. Education derives from the commonality of its people and drives economic progress. It sustains development and ensures lasting peace. Nigeria's education system must be effective, resilient, and sustainable, as well as prepare our citizens for the responsibilities of citizenship and national development. It must prepare Nigerian youths to be self-reliant and take competitive advantage of the current century knowledge-driven, innovative-driven, and digital technology-driven economy within and outside our country. The theme of this conference is a true reflection of an unusual global challenge faced by education in recent days. The emergence of the coronavirus pandemic, COVID-19, has no doubt adversely affected the education sector and the economy at national and global levels. The pandemic has forced schools and many businesses to temporarily shut down, governments to place restrictions on movements, exempting providers of essential services who are strictly to observe social distancing rules while providing services as a way to contain the spread of the virus. Nigeria, like all other countries, has been quite seriously impacted in various ways by the COVID-19 pandemic, and it has affected us all, either as households or as businesses. Contrary to earlier expectation, it is clear that the pandemic and its effects will remain with us for quite a while. So, it has become imperative that we have to adapt to it and adopt new ways of doing things. According to UNESCO, an estimated 1.725 billion learners have been affected as a result of school closures worldwide, representing about 99.9% of the world's students' population as at April 13th, 2020. Notably, approximately 46 million learners are affected in Nigeria. Let me point out that to cushion the effect of the pandemic, the world is embracing technological innovations, virtual interactions that has increasingly replaced face-to-face engagements and limit the total disruption to many sectors. UNESCO has recommended the use of distance learning programs, open educational applications, and platforms by schools and teachers to reach learners remotely. These would include integrated digital learning platforms, video lessons, massive open online courses, and broadcasts through radio and television. The success of these recommendations hinges on the use of high technology or low technology solutions, which are based on the reliability of local power supply, internet connectivity, sustainable curriculum, and digital skills of teachers, students, parents, and caretakers. There is an urgent need to design and develop suitable curriculum, assessment and monitoring systems that focus on improving the quality of education through the alignment of the curriculum to existing and projected educational needs. revising current assessment methods, and reinforcing systems that support the effective monitoring of the education sector during and post-COVID-19 pandemic. It is glaring that adoption of the current curriculum to facilitate learning in hybrid schooling situations needs to be actualized in view of the expected disruption of education systems by COVID-19 pandemic. The possibilities of designing science, technology, engineering, mathematics curricula such that they can be taught virtually should be worked out by appropriate government offices and stakeholders. In addition, appropriate learning assessment methods, as well as digital monitoring and evaluation programs, must be designed to drive the digital curriculum that will be developed. The occurrence of COVID-19 in Nigeria has shown that the Nigerian education system should be driven by innovative educational technology for both learning and teaching for our children to be globally competitive. Sometimes, innovative response is propelled by natural needs and necessity. As you all know, necessity is the mother of invention. Hence, the great opportunity afforded by the pandemic for us as a nation to move our education system to a digital level must not be abandoned. Distinguished participants, let me point out that the Federal Ministry of Education and many states have embarked on airing school lessons on visual learning platforms, as well as the use of radio and television. This is highly commendable. But every student cannot afford the cost and the capacity required. The students from low-income communities may be left out and unable to access learning during this period. Obviously, COVID-19 has magnified the educational inequalities and gaps in Nigeria, as only those with access to digital learning resources will keep learning in the comfort of their homes, while those without access, the majority of many of our students, are left behind. The school has narrowed the gap for students during school sessions, but when learning has to take place at home during a pandemic, inequalities in society are stark. Nevertheless, the perceived gaps indicate the need to think more deeply about how we can sustain digital transformation in Nigerian schools. Ladies and gentlemen, it is important to further reiterate that as a way of cushioning the effect of the lockdown, the federal government of Nigeria rolled out the following palliative measures for targeted groups: 3 months interest-free holiday for those holding trader money, market money, farmer money, loans issued by the Bank of Industry and the Bank of Agriculture and the Nigerian Export and Import Bank. Let me also say clearly that trader money is a loan program of the federal government created specifically for petty traders and artisans across Nigeria. It is a part of the government's enterprise and empowerment program, JEEP. This program is being executed by the Bank of Industry. With trader money, an individual can receive interest-free loans starting from 10,000 naira and growing all the way to 100,000 naira as the person pays back. Beneficiaries get 10,000 naira as the first loan. When they pay back the first loan, they immediately qualify for a second loan of 15,000. After the payback of the second loan, they qualify for a 20,000 naira loan, and then 50,000 naira, and then 100,000. In addition, market money, also known as the Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, JEEP, issues interest-free loans to market women and traders, artisans, youths, and farmers. It is one of the social intervention programs of the federal government and is being executed by the Bank of Industry. Market money has kicked off disbursements to its early set of beneficiaries and is expanding across the country. Beneficiaries receive loans ranging from 10,000 to 100,000 as well, for as long as 6 months. Market money attracts no interest except a one-time 5% administrative fee. So far, over 24,000 beneficiaries have accessed market money. Also, farmer money. This is another government enterprise an empowerment program, JEEP initiative, created to boost the Nigerian economy through leverage and access to finance for farmers. Farmer money is designed to help petty traders expand their trade through the provision of collateral-free loans. The loans are repayable over a period of 6 months. Under the scheme, beneficiaries can access a higher capacity facility ranging from 300,000 to 2 million naira when they repay within the stipulated time period. Distinguished delegates, let me further point out that the nation's leader, our President Muhammad Buhari, also announced an expansion of the initial number of households that will benefit from the direct distribution of food and cash from 2.6 million households to 3.6 million households, whom he described as the most vulnerable of our society. He therefore directed the ministries of Industry, Trade and Investment, Communication and Digital Economy, Science and Technology, Transportation, Interior, Health, Works and Housing, Labor and Employment, and Education to jointly develop a comprehensive policy for a Nigerian economy functioning with the COVID-19 pandemic. More than ever before, the present administration, through the Federal Ministry of Education, with the battle plan encoded in the Ministerial Strategic Plan 2018 to 2022, has moved the education sector forward. The access to quality higher education has been increased by a minimum of 5%. In the same vein, the carrying capacity of our universities has been expanded by over 8% through the twin approach of expanding the human and facilities resourcing of existing universities and licensing of new private universities, as well as recognizing new state universities and establishing new ones. With the establishment and accreditation of 19 private universities, 8 state universities, and 3 new federal universities, the numerical strength of our universities leapt by over 15% since the inception of this administration. Today, on all measures of equality, the Nigerian university system has gained 12 percentage points since 2016. With the launch of the 2019 to 2023 revitalization plan, the Nigerian university system will experience faster growth. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, the success story of JAM, catalyzed by the mandate given to it by its now legendary as subject of several global citations, JAM has set at least 2 gold standards, one for administering JAM and the other for public accountability. In addition, at the basic education level, UBEC, the intervention system, has been formatted in the states, and the machinery to release funds to the states and monitor same has been strengthened with far greater accountability. This administration has disbursed 32.5 billion naira in matching grants to 22 states and the FCT, utilized 8.78 billion in the construction and rehabilitation of public schools, and procured 15.07 billion naira worth of instructional materials in the core subjects of basic education and science equipment for JS junior secondary schools. Today, there has been significant improvement in the performance of UBEC on its mandate over its status in 2016, chief of which are at least 10% improvement in facilities for the delivery of basic education by way of new and refurbished classrooms, schools, and supplies. The new focus on teacher professional development by UBEC and the Ministry of Education is heartwarming and a credit to this administration. So far, 2.797 billion naira has been utilized as Teacher Professional Development Fund for training of teachers and education managers in the 36 states and the FCT. The school feeding program, coordinated by the presidency, is another positive development in the education sector, with nearly 300 million meals served to over 7.5 million pupils in 46,000 primary public schools in Nigeria. The funding of the sector took a slightly upward swing from 2018 through to 2020, and in the direction anticipated by the ministerial strategic plan, while the tape of the anticipated quantum was not breasted at the end of the plan period, noteworthy gains were made through interventions by TED Fund and UBEC and other partners, local and international. More than ever before, the present administration, through the Federal Ministry of Education, with the battle plan encoded in the ministerial strategy, has also increased access to higher quality education and continues to do so on a rapid level. As noted, the Federal University of Health Science in Benue State and other private universities, as approved, are all now functioning. Our numerical strength is increasing. We have also established the Federal Polytechnic of Oil and Gas at Bonny River State and increased the number of innovation enterprise institutes in Nigeria from 153 to 167 across the country. There are additional 6 colleges of education to the existing 183 NCE awarding institutions established in the following in our states. The 6 states are Edo, Sokoto, Benue, Bauchi, Jigawa, and Ebonyi to create more access to teacher education in Nigeria. Distinguished participants, let me further state that turning to other education indicators such as literacy rate, gender parity indices, the school completion rates and efficiency, there are marginal positive gains as well, although more will be done. The expectation of the ministerial strategic plan is that we will continue to increase these goals, especially in the Northeast and the face of the crisis there. The present government is working towards ensuring the retention of our best brains and attract new hands to the education sector. A comprehensive policy of improved remuneration for workers in the education sector and a genuine pension scheme is already in place for teachers and all public servants in our country. The Quality Assurance Department and all other relevant offices under the Federal Ministry of Education are already being strengthened to deliver prompt and compact service for the education sector, especially at the basic and secondary school level nationwide. In view of the fact that there is a need for continuous evaluation of teacher service delivery with a view to building an effective, resilient, and sustainable education system in Nigeria, the present government will ensure that teacher education programs are constantly reviewed in the light of new technological challenges in training and retaining of teachers to ensure quality service delivery. Also crucial, President Muhammad Buhari will ensure accountability in the disbursement and utilization of all funding to the sector. Noted, government cannot do this all alone. We must involve all our stakeholders, including the organized private sector, professional bodies, civil societies, the international development partners, parents, micro and small medium enterprises, and all those who are interested in lifelong learning. On this note, it is my pleasure, having gathered all of you here today, to then declare this conference open and wish you successful deliberations and a positive outcome. Thank you all.